last couple of months, I have just been experiencing a lot of different changes through my work life, in my personal life, in my home life. And so I wanted to get on here and film a quick video about how I like to reset after a period of change, after a period of a lot of stress. When you go into trying to reset yourself or de-stress, it's really important to give yourself permission. If you're not giving yourself permission to reset or de-stress, I don't think that like de-stressing methods will be effective for you. So the first step is to relinquish that control, relinquish that ability to feel like you have to be doing something all the time, be productive all the time, and just really just give yourself permission to take a break and to do something to de-stress. And so kind of on a related note, the first thing that I usually like to do is give myself time to do something that is very intentionally unproductive. And I know for me a lot, and like a lot of you guys, that being productive all the time is something that's kind of on the forefront of our minds. I think a lot of like millennials and Gen Z people are very much in this mindset all the time to kind of channel that calendar list box checker energy is to literally just put something on the calendar to do something unproductive. What I mean by unproductive is I mean something that like has no inherent value to like your career or like your personal growth or other things of that aspect. So for me, this normally looks like just loafing on the couch and watching a movie, or make some art just for the sake of making something, just really putting aside that time to do something very unintentionally productive. Number two, I really like to do a lot of journaling to reset. I've made a previous video about journaling and you guys know that I'm very passionate about journaling, but I think especially if we're trying to reset ourselves and kind of restabilize ourselves, journaling is really important to give yourself that time to reflect on what has happened. If you're like me and you've been going through like a lot of different changes in your life, or you're really just trying to process change, I think it's really important to take that time to give yourself permission to journal, to reflect, to do something to help you process all of the emotions that have been happening. The next thing that I like to do is to call someone. I specifically like to call and not text, just because having a phone call or a video call or something like that really helps you to maximize your like human social interactions. Obviously right now we shouldn't necessarily be talking to people face to face all the time. So I find it's really helpful to have a phone call or have a video call with someone. Normally for me, this usually looks like calling up an old friend or scheduling something to just catch up, or I will just call my parents too to just see what they're up to and like update each other on what we're doing. I think a phone call is something that's really helpful to sort of reflect on what you've been doing in the last couple of months, how you've been feeling, as well as get that sort of human connection aspect to it. The fourth thing that I like to do is a meditation, and when I'm trying to reset, I try to be really intentional about doing long meditations. And so I've talked about meditation on my channel before, but when we're trying to reset, meditation is really important for understanding the things that are happening in your brain and just being observant of all of your thoughts and your feelings that you may be having. I like to do a very long meditation, and for me, a long meditation is not like 2 hours. A long meditation is usually like 20 to 30 minutes for me. Normally I will just do like 10 minutes a day, but when I'm in my reset mode, I really like to do a long meditation. And I can link my meditation video here as well, but I really like to use kind of longer meditations that you can find for free on YouTube or in the Headspace app, which is where I usually meditate. I can set my timer to 20 minutes up to like 150 minutes of guided or like semi-guided meditation. The next thing I like to do is exercise. Exercise is really important, and not just kind of like light, like half exercise. Like I really like to do something to get my heart rate up and get sweaty. Especially these days during quarantine, I really haven't had a lot of time to do, or not time, but just energy to do some like intense exercise. And so every now and then I really try to push myself to go out and do something that gets me really sweaty. And for me, that's usually running. I hate running. Like I hate running, but I know that I always feel really good after I push myself to do it. So every now and then, if I'm feeling it, I will push myself to go and take a run. And there's all kinds of research out there that shows us how important exercise is for our mental well-being and our feelings of stability and all types of good things that come from exercise. So I feel like I don't really need to convince you guys that exercise is something that can be really, really helpful when you're trying to reset. Number 6 is to do some kind of mindful activity. For me, mindful activities don't necessarily just have to be like meditation. I think a lot of the times when we hear mindful, we automatically assume, oh, like meditation or something. But you can be mindful in any type of activity, just something that really helps to put you in your flow state, in the zone. For me, this usually looks like cooking or baking, something that I can really put my hands on and really get in there and do. Other things that maybe people don't love as much are actually laundry. I really like to do laundry when I'm trying to do something mindful or some type of cleaning activity. I find that doing laundry, doing dishes, or just any sort of tidying, I find that doing these types of activities are really helpful to get me in my mindful space. And so mindful activities really, really helpful to help you re-ground yourself. Another thing I like to do is to jump back onto hobbies. And so this is exactly what I'm doing right now. Is I really haven't had time to engage with my hobbies, aka making videos and making content. I've been really slow on it the last 2-3 months just because of all the craziness that's been happening in my life. But I find that if I'm kind of slowing down, I'm trying to reset after a stressful period, it's really nice to just jump back onto some old hobbies. For some people, this might look like picking up a guitar that you haven't touched in a long time, or maybe you had like a food blog that you haven't touched in a while. Maybe you want to get back into gardening. I think it's really nice to just reground yourself into something that you used to love doing and maybe haven't done in a while. And now if you are sort of in this post-stress period, I do think it's really nice to reground yourself in something that you used to love. All right, the 8th reset method that I sort of alluded to earlier is cleaning. Like, I know people don't love cleaning. Cleaning is not really like a sexy activity, but I don't know about you guys, I feel so good after I clean. Like, I love having a clean space, a clean kitchen, a clean bathroom. I just really like having tidy spaces. And for me, I know that my external environment will really, really affect my mental space as well. So I know that if I take a little bit of time to clean and tidy, that I will usually feel really good afterwards. You don't have to clean your whole home. You don't have to deep clean everything. You can really just start small. Like, just start with your desk, or washing your sheets, or I don't know, cleaning your bathroom counter. Just really, you can start super small and gradually you can move up to doing bigger things like cleaning out your closet or cleaning up your whole living room. But I do think that cleaning your general space is really, really helpful for resetting your mind. Next thing that I really like to do is another environmental type of thing, and that is reorganization. And so we're going to embrace our inner Marie Kondos and do a little tidying, do a little organization. When I say reorganization, I don't mean that you necessarily have to like completely clean out your closet and like get rid of everything that doesn't spark joy. I really just mean simple things, like everything from reorganizing your bookshelf and how you like to arrange them, or you can move your pens from one drawer to another drawer, or maybe you just get an extra basket for all those shampoo products that you have. Doing all these like small little things, I really do think add up over time in helping you to organize your space and helping you to clear up your mind. And I just feel really good when I see a nice system that is organized and understandable and really works well for me. The next thing that I really like to do is to redecorate, or if you don't have decorations up, put some decorations up. I have found as I've been moving into my new place that decorations really spark a lot of joy for me, and seeing really cute decorations up on my walls or on my shelves really makes me feel good. Especially for a lot of us who are just stuck at home right now, I really think it's helpful to redecorate or add some decoration to your space. For example, we recently just put up a bunch of cute decorations on our fireplace for Christmas, and just seeing this every single day has been making me feel so excited and so good. And I really think that if we can do this in multiple parts of our environment, it really helps us to feel so much better. You don't really have to go crazy and get anything like super, super expensive. We literally just got a bunch of cute decorations from like the dollar store and Daiso, and just like a small investment into your immediate environment can have a really, really big payoff. Okay, we're moving along. We have 2 more. Number 11 is to run errands. And I don't know about you guys, but I always have an ever-growing list of errands that I have to run that kind of end up on the back burner when I'm kind of in an intense period, a really, really busy time. And so it feels really good when you have a day that you can just dedicate to completing these different errands and checking off the things on your to-do list. It personally helps me to free up a lot of mental space. Like, oh, I no longer have to think about, oh, I have to call my landlord about this, or I have to pay that bill, or I have to make that return. Like all these really tiny things that we have to remember to do, if we can just get rid of all of them in one big sweep, I find that helps me with a lot of mental clarity and just feeling more grounded. And so if you have a time or like a dedicated time to do a reset or a day to do a reset, I really think it's helpful to dedicate some time to just checking off your to-do list and running some of those errands. And so the last thing is to change up your environment. And when I say your environment, I don't mean like your living quarters. I mean just going to a new place and going somewhere that is not your immediate space. A lot of us can definitely feel cooped up at home right now. I know I have, and especially in this recent busy period of my life, I've just found myself sitting at my desk 24/7. And the last thing that I want to do when I'm having like a reset day or some time to reset is to just sit at my desk more. So I find it's really helpful to take some time away from your immediate space, go out into the world and do something else. You can also get this done really easily with the previous technique, is just going to run errands will naturally put you in new spaces and new environments, or really just going outside for a prolonged period of time has been really helpful for me. For me, changing up my environment really helps me to feel like I'm transitioning out of a period of stress and coming back refreshed to my space. Okay, cool. So that was 12 ideas that we can do when we are having a reset day, when we are taking some time to reset after a stressful period. I really hope that this is helpful for some of you guys and that you are taking some time to reset. If you've been feeling really stressed, I know I have. I hope that you are taking some time for yourself to really, really get your mind off of things. That is all that I have to say, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!